Hello, we are from Turkey, and there was a huge earthquake in our country. The government is not providing the necessary assistance. We are left alone. You can help from the link in the description. Thank you.
No. Well, you don't want to hear about 9/11.
It's entirely possible.
No. Yes, I have. Yes. Yes. This. Yup. Yes. All of them.
Obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD, causes a lot of anxiety. People will have obsessions or compulsions or both. Obsessions are thoughts or urges or images that you can't get out of your head, and the thoughts are intrusive. You may have had the experience of hearing someone whistle a tune in the background, and then all day long you can't get that song out of your head. That's similar, but with that you're usually able to distract yourself from the tune if you need to. With OCD, the person experiences the obsession as intrusive, and it can just pop into their heads when they don't want it to, and they can't just turn it off just like that. The second part of this is the compulsions, and the compulsions are rituals that take away the anxiety. Some examples are hand washing and checking things and counting. So a person with OCD can be late to work every day because they take an hour to get out of the door because they're checking the oven over and over again. Or you need to get up 2 hours early in the morning because of a counting ritual, or because you need to spend 2 hours in the shower. The treatment is either anxiety medication or therapy, or a combination of both.
This is OCD versus autism, food addiction. I can't do food that touches.
I can. I can't do the texture of any vegetables.
I like the texture of vegetables. Salads can only have very basic ingredients, so like cheese, meat, pomegranate, kale, any of that can't be added into it.
I will only eat Caesar salad. I can't do minced meat.
I love mincemeat. I can't eat in the same meal an animal product and the product that they produce, like milk and meat.
I can. I can't eat fully cooked food like burnt toast.
I can. I like really burnt toast. I can't do sandwiches.
I love sandwiches. I can only eat chicken. That's the only meat I will eat.
I eat all meat except seafood.
Oh, this is me. It's not okay living with this thoughts. It's hard. I've diagnosed, by the way. I have OCD.
Best technique I've ever used to unlatch my OCD's core fears so that my intrusive thoughts finally learn to dissipate. Okay, so all you need to remember is A, B, C. A is for the activating event. It's for the intrusive thought that your OCD starts to obsess over. B is your automatic response to that event, which holds subconscious irrational and rational beliefs. And C is for the outcome, which, depending on which path you choose, will either be a compulsion or
This
compassion.
is important. It can't be rational beliefs.
Normally, we think of A, the activating event, as immediately causing C, our compulsions. So the intrusive thought immediately causes compulsions. That's the OCD cycle. But that's not actually the case. There's actually a middle step, B, that's caused by A, our irrational beliefs in particular, that causes the compulsion. And this step is usually subconscious, which is why we think A just causes C immediately. But if we can uproot this and bring it to light, we can stop the OCD cycle from happening. Right, so for example, I struggle with harm OCD and the fear of deserving of going to prison, so my activating event would be the intrusive thought of, what if I should be in prison right now? And normally if I think of C as being caused by A, I'll jump right to the compulsion and the OCD cycle will continue. But A actually leads to a subconscious step of irrational and rational beliefs, and depending on which one I choose, will decide the outcome. Right, so my rational beliefs to the activating intrusive thought would be, well, I hope that's not the case because I don't want to go to prison, but if that were to be true, it would be sad, but I could handle it. That's totally healthy, that's compassion, it leads to a healthy outcome, and the OCD cycle stops. But the activating event also triggers subconscious irrational beliefs of, oh my god, that would be horrible, I couldn't stand it, my life would be over, everyone would hate me, it would mean I'm a horrible person. And those are where the compulsions kick in. I really hope that helps and makes sense.
Okay, got
so
it.
next time you have an intrusive thought or you begin to obsess over a new fear, remember that you do have a choice and you don't have to go straight into compulsions. You can choose to follow your subconscious irrational or rational beliefs. It takes time and practice to start seeing all of them, but I promise anyone can learn to do it. Nobody is treatment resistant. And in the meantime, be kind to yourselves.
Here's a list of ridiculous things that OCD made me believe when I was all wrapped up in it. I used to avoid saying certain words in conversation and also singing certain lyrics. So if there were ever any songs that had like devils, I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna go to hell, if there were any diseases in songs like the word cancer, I would avoid saying those words at all costs because I used to think that if I say or sing those words, it will become reality. A perfect example actually came to my mind. There was this one song called Dance with the Devil where the lyrics were something like, I'm gonna dance with the devil tonight. And I would just, when that song would come on, I would absolutely freak out and always change it. And it was a song that my brother and sister really liked. So yeah, it just could not be played around me. From the age of 12, I started to believe, for no reason, that I had a brain tumor. I didn't have headaches, I didn't have any symptoms. I just became incredibly scared and actually delusional to the point that because I was really, really shy, I didn't feel like I could ask my mum to take me to the doctors about it. I always thought like as soon as I'm old enough to go to the doctors by myself, I need to go and get this checked out if I'm still alive by then. It made me believe that I'm a bad person and that being a bad person was the worst thing in the world. For some reason, those of us with OCD have a extremely high code of morality, most of us, and we have this drive that like we need to figure out whether we're good or bad, and we need to just definitely know that we're good and we have purely good intentions. And I'm so glad that I don't feel like that anymore. People are so much more nuanced than just being simply good or bad. Yeah, I mean, I could make a whole other video about this, but the video's ending, so...
No, it's nice.
A day in the life of having pretty severe OCD, but accepting it as best I can. First, I wake up and immediately get hit with a blitzkrieg of intrusive thoughts. Most people think OCD is being a neat freak or an eccentric hand washer, but in reality, it's one of the top 10 most disabling disorders per the World Health Organization for a reason. Imagine your biggest fear, and now imagine being forced to think about it every second of every day.
Something is wrong.
When that will stop. Today, I am sitting in a cortisol suit with a machine gun of intrusive thoughts telling me that I have done something truly horrible to someone over and over and over again. Most days I'm able to handle it pretty well, but today, for whatever reason, it's stuck around harder than usual, and I try not to worry about why, because for me, ruminating is a big compulsive behavior. I try to meditate daily, not to strive for inner peace that's pretty unattainable with my brain sometimes, but to let my thoughts roam and give them the space that they need in order to exist as they want to. Once work starts, I go off camera for my Zoom calls after 20 minutes because I just don't have it in me to be outwardly friendly today. And after that call, I do my best to accept the fact that these thoughts are going to be sticking around all day, despite the fact that it is absolutely wrecking my productivity. Then I journal and read to give my mind something other than itself to focus on if it can. It's hard and a slog, but always worth it. Now some yoga to drop into my body as best I can and let my body express itself, and the anxiety the intrusive thoughts are making it feel as
I can't do it.
Now I shower as a midday reset for my brain and body, and this kind of wipes the slate clean.
I'm ADHD too, and I can't.
Another viewpoint if I need to. And now I'll relax for the night as best as I can, finding that balance
Oh,
between not
cat.
letting the thoughts completely overtake me and not trying to completely push them away and strive for that unattainable goal of completely getting rid of my intrusive thoughts. And there you have it.
Thank you for watching. You can help from the link in the description. You know, I have already told this, but I want to remember that you can help from the link in the description. Please check this. Goodbye.